Hello and welcome to our last session for today. I'm Martina from the Austrian National Tourist Office, and I'm very happy to welcome you again. This time we are in the Kufsteinerland in Tirol. Before we start, some quick housekeeping notes again. If you have any questions or comments, please post them in the comment session. We will answer your questions at the end. And in case we won't be able to answer all the questions, we will do a follow-up after today. But now it's time for some relaxation and a quick Qi Gong session and exercise. So please join in, stand up, get ready, and over to you, Harry, please.
Hello there, my name is Harry. I'm a hiking guide and a Qi Gong instructor from the Kufsteinerland, and I'm here with my working colleague Barbara from Kufsteinerland.
Hi guys!
And let's do some Qi Gong exercises together, especially one I like to show, and I hope you join us wherever you are, and this is connecting heaven and earth. We stand with the feet shoulder width apart around, very loose in the knees, very loose in the pelvis, a little bit tilting forward, shoulders loose, the head loose, and at the highest point of the head, the feeling like there is a string pulling up to the heaven, connecting heaven and earth. We start with a simple movement, stretching out the arms to the left and right, spreading with palms down, and then we go in a slow squat and down with the hands and come around together with palms up, and when we stand up, we feel like we are lifting something heavy up from the floor, from the ground, and have the palms when we are at the shoulders to us, pointing to us, and then slowly turning them outwards, looking up into the sky, and in a circular motion down again, connecting heaven to earth. The old Chinese philosophers, they found that we human beings are beings between heaven and earth, and the energy is flowing from the sky, from the heaven to the earth through us, one way and the other way too, from the earth to the sky. And again, so this is the body part of the movement. When we do this movement, Qi Gong, or in old Chinese philosophy, all things are free. So now we have the body movements, and we add the proper breathing with it. Breathing out on our way downward, and breathe in, and we feel like we drag the energy of the earth towards us, and breathe in until we are on top in the movement, very slow, in a relaxed way, and breathing out on the downward movement again. The third part would be the imagination. We think that we are around between heaven and earth. We are doing something good for our whole body, for our whole being, and so we connect with the breathing, the body movements, and our imagination, our mind. So it's a whole being experience. And breathe out. Go in a squat. We look that the back is as straight as possible. And upwards again. And downwards, very slow, breathing out. And breathing in. And out again. Thinking about ourselves, relaxing into the movement, and we can even Get very slow with the movement and just breathe in a natural way. And it's even possible to do that and stop for a while at a certain point where you like, but we are just moving now again, breathing out, deep breathing, coordinated breathing, and for the last time, drawing up the energy from the earth in front of our shoulders, the palm downwards, and let the breathing sink. Breathe out. And in front of the lower belly, the hands outwards like we are circling around, embracing the earth, collecting energy, and downwards, relaxed head, the neck, the shoulders, the upper, the middle, the lower body, and the exercise is finished.
Thank you, Harry.
You were welcome.
That was nice.
And so this was connecting heaven to earth, and very important, my most favorite exercise.
Thank you, Harry, for this introduction. I hope you all feel a bit more relaxed and energized now. I certainly do. And we all feel a bit more connected to heaven on earth, or Tirol in Kufsteinerland, as we say. So it's time to see what else the Kufsteinerland has to offer with this short video.
Nature Response, der Name ist Programm, das heißt im Grunde, dass Natur auf den Menschen antwortet und der Mensch auf die Natur reagiert. Nature Response, Antworten aus der Natur. Es sind Teile aus Entspannungsmethoden dabei, es sind Teile aus sehr viel mentale Methoden, aber wichtig ist, dass es immer an bestimmten Orten passiert. Es gibt viel, was man in der Natur machen kann, aber bei Nature Response ist es wirklich wichtig, dass es an einem ganz bestimmten Baum oder an einer Felswand oder an einem Bachlauf gemacht wird, weil eben diese Orte eine bestimmte Qualität haben. Und viele Menschen, die gehen oft an diesen Orten vorbei, und Nature Response ist so eine Art Anleitung, einfach wieder bei sich anzukommen. Und die Natur ist einfach, die Natur wertet nicht, in der Natur gibt es kein richtig oder falsch, die Natur ist immer richtig. Und Nature Response ist im Grunde ein systematisches Programm, was hier einfach hilft, anleitet mit ganz leichten Übungen, die vielen Menschen gut tun.
Thanks again for joining us today in Kufsteinerland on this virtual press trip. Very excited to have you here. And again, this is Harry and I'm Barbara from the tourism board, and Harry is a hiking guide and I'm in charge of all matters communication here. And just to let you know, the weather is a little bit fickle today, as it tends to be at this time of year. So we are inside and not outside at the lake, which is just in front of the building, but we're very near the Lake Thiersee. And here behind us, you see the seating rows of the Passion Playhouse. Passion Plays is basically showcasing the life and death of Jesus, and it's happening here every 6 years. It's a big tradition, and culture is a massive thing in Tirol and in Kufsteinerland. So it will happen again in 2022, and hopefully culture and getting together will be a bit easier by then. But for now, we're here in a virtual way and just showing you a bit about what you can actually do in nature with Harry, and we decided to show you a bit about Qi Gong. So Harry, can you tell us a little bit more about what we've just done? What is Qi Gong? Why are you doing it? And what are the benefits of doing it?
Qi Gong, or Tai Chi in that way too, it's and exercises which help the body and the energies of the body very much. I like to do it very much because it keeps me healthy, and if I'm in a bad health, even if I just have a cold, I do special Qigong exercises. So it helps the energetic level and the helps for the bodily strength. And it's so to say, if it's good for your health, it's also good for regeneration. For example, it's post-COVID is this very good exercise for that too, and so that you regain your strength again. And it enhances your sinews, muscles, joints. It makes you flexible. It relaxes you, and it's also in that when you get flexible, you get a flexible mind, and vice versa. And this is very important for me because you get to know yourself much better, and that makes for an easier life.
Mm. I can vouch for that. I feel a lot calmer now after having done that.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. So, but why did we choose, or did you choose the Lake Thiersee to do it? Why is this a special place or a good space to do Qigong and this sort of exercises?
Yeah, the Lake Thiersee is lakes itself. They are very good places for with the calming effects of the water surface. Is very good place to do Qigong. And the Thiersee is even very special for that kind of exercise because behind the lake there is this pyramid-shaped mountain called Pendling. And so the water runs down from the mountain in a natural way and stops for a while in the water of the lake and exudes its calming energy. So we literally can soak up the energy from the lake in us, and so it has a lots of benefits for the people who exercise here. And second, it's also nice, very easy to get to. For example, you can grab a bike at the rental station near the railway station of Kufstein and rent a mountain bike and cycle up here in a very sustainable fashion very fast, only like 20 minutes or so.
Awesome. Yeah, it's very beautiful. Green space, crystal clear water, blue lake. But are there any other places in this region where you think we can do Qigong and these sort of mindfulness exercises, or do you need to be necessarily near the water?
No, water itself is a good place to do exercises, but there are also many other places where you can do Qigong, for example. Places which have to do with air or with earth. Actually, one of my most favorite places is a cave called Tischhofer nearby Kufstein, where I like to go into the back and practice there or do some meditation. And I feel there like I'm in the womb of Mother Earth. So it's really something special. Of course, we have lots of ponds and some waterfalls and lakes, and water is very special. And we should move like water, like there is a saying. And but it has not to be water.
Doesn't have to be water. On this note, we have collected these energy places in a little folder. Around 40 positively energetic places you can find in there. So you'll find the places and where they are on a little map according to the elements they belong to. And this just enables you to either book a tour with Harry and go out with him, or if you prefer, just do it on your own and venture out on your own account, find the place and the spot you like most and do the energy exercise going along with it. And so it's just up to you how you want to play it. And we've done this according to the nature response concept, which is a particular concept how to create and this mindfulness and energy in a place. So Harry is trained in this, and if if you arrive at the railway station, as Harry just said, come across the bridge, across the inn, visit us at the information point and grab a folder and explore. By the way, these tours with Harry are also free of charge with the Kufsteinerland card, which you get as a guest staying here. So there's lots and lots and lots of offer around herbs, health, yoga, and so forth. Just a lot of things to do around this topic in nature.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I often wonder why there are so many things like this on offer here.
Well, if you think about it, good brands and destinations are brands as well. They grow from within and work with what is already there at the place. So here in Kufsteinerland, we are very much about creating authentic experiences with the guests, but also with the locals, because what locals like, guests like, and what guests like, locals like. So it's about this authenticity in the region. And in Kufsteinerland, you have a town and the fortress itself is a place loaded with energy, very strong, and 8 rural villages. And it's all very much connected, very close to nature and easy to get around. We love to shop regional and locally. There are lots of herbs experts living here, lots of gardens and herb gardens, and also the longest existing spa village in Tirol called Hering. So from this long-standing tradition of health, we just collected these places together with people living here and put them in the folder. And these places just ooze calm and positivity. And I think especially after such a long time of lockdown and restrictions, it is something very nice to see and do and experience. And we just crave to reconnect with ourselves and with others. And in my point of view, nature is the best place to do that. So here in Kufsteinerland, you find fresh air, lots of space, and by the way, really nice, tasty local food, should you care for that. But Harry, you lived here all your life. What would be your recommendation?
I would suggest to go forest bathing. We have a new built forest bathing station here, and you could join me one day.
Oh, I forgot my bikini. Do I need it?
It's not about swimming. It's about a mindful stay in a forest. You see forests, deep forests, very healthy to be in there. And the green color is very calming. Then the sounds, the silent in the forest, and especially the terpenes and phytoncedes are molecules which are coming out from the barks and the needles and the leaves of the trees. And they have a very positive effect on the body, on the immune system. They help to lower our stress hormone levels. So visiting a forest and stay there in a mindful, calm way is something very good to do. Everybody can do that. You can do that in almost every forest if it's kind of a natural forest. And it's a system which comes from Japan, actually. And they did the first research in the 90s about that. And yeah, so it's something which is can do yourself, or if you are interested, you can join me on one of the tours we have in the Kufsteinerland. The same, we try to get a little bit in every guided tour, like mindful in the nature, so there's always a little bit in it.
So lots and lots and lots of things to do in Kufsteinerland, lots on offer, from a fortress you can visit, or typical Tyrolean horses called Havlinger, or the Kaiser lift, which is a single-seated cable car, all included in the Kufsteinerland card, by the way. And we cannot wait to have you here again and show you everything what is here. But In the meantime, thank you very much for joining us, and I think we open the floor for questions again, if there are any.
Yes, thank you very much for this insight. I think Kufsteinerland seems to be the perfect place for recharging your energies. And we have some questions. We have heard a lot about Kufsteinerland, how to experience nature. Could you also tell us how to get there, how the public transport works in the region? And could you also tell us more about this last mile concept?
Well, it's quite easy to get here. It's Kufstein as a town is, and the region itself is right on the border between Bavaria and Germany and has a direct train line. So from whichever side you are coming, it's easy to get to here by train, and yeah, no time needed. And for the last mile, in the Kufsteinerland card, which looks like that, by the way. This is the folder, but the card has this symbol on it, just to clarify. The public transport is included. So when you leave the train, you just hop on a bus, you get a little voucher beforehand, and you can just use the public transport system right away, all the time. Or you use the new bike Tirol station right next to the railway station, and you can get to anywhere you want to. So you don't necessarily need a car to get around, and it's very well connected with public transport.
That's all.
The question?
Yes, that's always good to hear if you can rely on public transport. So thank you for that. And you also spoke about the nature response, the energy spots, and you showed us the brochure. You mentioned it's possible to do it self-guided. Could you tell us more about it? How does that work?
Well, the best thing really to do is to get a folder from the tourist information in the center of Kufstein, or you should also be able to get it at the place you stay. And then you have, let me just unfold that quickly, a map in here. And with this map, you see the whole region, the triangle with the different elements, and you can just pick and choose where you want to go and which fits best into your concept of the day, or you create a little tour around it. So we can easily give you advice on that when you arrive, or even beforehand. Just email us or call us, and we are happy to share that information. And then with the map, you also have this folder, and in the folder, in German and English, you have these places described, what they mean, what they are all about, where they come from, and underneath a little exercise described. This is how you do it on your own if you don't want to go with Harry, which would be my preferred option, to be honest.
Thank you very much. I think, yeah, Harry is definitely a good choice. But it seemed to be also very straightforward with the brochure. So whatever you like, you can do it with people or by yourself. But do you also have an offer for families, or is that concept more for adults? What can families do? Is there a special offer for children? What experiences can they get?
Usual in all the guided tours, families can participate naturally. Mm-hmm. It just depends. When we do a hike with 500 meters height difference and the kids are too small, maybe they are not able to do it, but otherwise they can join the group with hiking, and we have a special kids program.
Exactly.
So like on the Lake Thiersee, they do something with kind of a boat going out there, and there is a special program. There is in summer, in July and August, every weekday there is something special. The kids have or the parents have to register the kids, and so they can have their own nature adventures.
Yeah, so there's a weekly program just for families and kids where they can participate. Also on offer guides and hikes, which we call experience tours into the nature reserve up at the Kaisergebirge on 1,200 meters. I mentioned this this one-seater cable car beforehand. You can hike up or you can take this cable car, and there they're shown geocaching and what wildlife is there, and what kind of herbs, which animals, and how nature is just interconnected in itself, and how this nature reserves works. There's special guides for that called Natopia, and they offer these tours as well through the Tourism Information Board. And also, of course, there is this Haflinger Center just outside of Kufstein in Eps, where you can see the typical Tyrolean horses and the little babies, lots of babies hopping around the meadows at the moment, so a very pretty sight. Or you can visit the fortress. There's a weekly program for kids at the fortress as well, and lots of things to do for families. Easy hikes for those who come with kids, and more challenging hikes for those who want to go higher, faster, longer, whatever.
Great, thank you very much. There seems to be lots to do for families as well. And I love the Haflinger, by the way. They are very family friendly. But now we have done some exercise. We did nature response tours. Now I'm hungry. So could you recommend some local dishes maybe?
Maybe we start with pointing out our favorite local dishes. Harry, you go first. What do you prefer eating after a hike? What would you go for?
One of my most favorite dishes would be the Kaspressknödel. That's
good choice.
Kind of, I don't know the real translation, but I always say it's like a round dumpling pressed, and in the dough is cheese, a tasty cheese, some onions, and it's flat like a kind of a burger kind shape, and you fry it in the pan. It's crusty, crunchy on the outside and smooth and cheesy on the inside, and then you put it in the soup. Just perfect after a hike. Gives you a lot of minerals, calories, and a good feeling all around, not only in the stomach.
Getting hungry now. So for dessert, I would choose another carby option, the Kaiserschmarrn, which is a very typical Austrian dish made of milk, eggs, and flour. So very simple ingredients, and then you typically eat it with jam or apple mousse, and it's just a very rich dessert, I would say, but totally worthwhile going for it. And usually get it in all the huts you come by when you hike. So there are lots of huts where you can just pick a place to sit and order a local dish from the menu. And something worth mentioning is it's a region full of award-winning restaurants. So if you want something local or something more refined, it's all there. And yeah, but yeah, you will be full after our choice of dishes.
And there are endless numbers of delicious cakes too.
Yes.
Almost every hut in the mountains has their own favorite, very nice recipe of cake.
Oh yes.
That sounds too delicious, unfortunately.
I know.
So now we've eaten again, and now I ate a lot of calories. Now it's time for some sports again. You mentioned lakes. Is it also possible to do SUP somewhere in the Kufsteinerland during so stand-up paddling on the lakes?
There is an offer at the Thiersee Lake where you can go SUP, so stand-up paddling, and also at the Hechtsee. We have 6 lakes, all with drinking water quality, here, and on all of which you can definitely swim. And I know that on the Hechtsee and the Thiersee, which are the two biggest ones, you can also go stand-up paddling.
Great, thank
you. And also
you.
on the Inn, actually, there is an offer, like a big stand-up paddleboard, and as a group you can do it. Maybe not now with all the distance restrictions, but in future should be possible again.
Wow, that's interesting. The Inn River.
Yeah.
So we have one last question. Someone seems to know the area. Will there be a Nights Festival this year?
To be honest, I'm not 100% sure about this festival as now. I'm happy to answer that question in writing afterwards, and I give you the information, Martina. I do think it is cancelled, to be honest, or altered in some way to fit the rules around the pandemic. And yeah, but let me get back to you on this, please. I will double check if it's cancelled or not.
Great, thank you very much for this information about the Kufsteinerland. It was really informative. Unfortunately, we are already at the end of the session, and that was our tour through Tirol. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you, Barbara and Harry, as well. And thank you all for joining. Don't forget, we are opening tourism on the 19th of May again, and hopefully we see you soon in person in Austria, in Tirol. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.